right now.
Guadalupe River search efforts continue as the latest number of people who are confirmed dead sits at 135 across the state, where operations are moving next as they make their way downstream.
Any way we can possibly relieve some stress and some anxiety to people that, unfortunately paid a huge price.
A disaster relief company from Houston bringing help to Kerrville, Hunt, and Comfort, how they are restoring damaged keepsakes and memories for families impacted.
Taking a look outside, it's a little humid this morning, but we do have some rain on the radar. I'll tell you what you need to know coming up in just a bit.
Good morning at 6 a.m. on your Saturday. It is July 19th. We've been having a bit of rain for a couple of weeks now. We're in the clear and it looks like we're back to hot summer.
So we're back to hot summer. Technically starting today, yes, but we are tracking a few little isolated showers today and tomorrow. Nothing to be too worried about, just a little inconvenient for your weekend weather. And we're actually seeing some here on the radar this morning. Once again, most of it is just to the north in areas of San Marcos, even getting up to Austin and Kyle. It looks a little green, but some of it is also just normal feedback you see on the radar. You can see that in areas of New Braunfels. Some of that are also just the bats you're seeing this morning. However, I am going to switch it just so you can kind of see. This is just another radar scan, and where you're seeing up here those little red dots, that's actually where we're picking up rain, but it's closer to the radar, so it's kind of hard to see with the feedback, which is why I switched it to this, just so you can kind of see the little rain that we're seeing here in South Central Texas. This morning, though, if you're not seeing any rain, you're waking up with temperatures in the 70s, still sitting kind of humid this morning. 85% for the humidity in San Antonio, 100% for the humidity in Boerne, and that's going to continue throughout the day. We're going to continue to see the humidity stick around because we're still going to see the rain chances. We do get a little bit of a break between the middle portion of the day, but when we get the break in the middle portion of the day, that's where we're seeing our temperatures really warm up into the 90s. Not everyone is going to see the rain chances, but everyone will see the temperatures in the 90s. Some areas having the heat indices getting into the triple digits, but like I mentioned, the rain chances. We have a 10% or 20% chance of rain today, 10% tomorrow, but then we're drying out through the middle portion of the week. Normal Texas July summer we're used to with the near triple digit heat before we're tracking our next chance of more widespread rain coming up next week. I'll break down your weekend forecast on the rain chances today, plus take a look at the future cast coming up in just a bit. Sarah.
Shelby, thank you. 2 weeks after the deadly flood in the Hill Country, flood and search and recovery efforts are still the priority along the Guadalupe River. In Kendall County, operations are moving downstream. These 3 volunteer fire departments in Kendall County have become home bases for the search. It started in Comfort, now it's in Sisterdale, and expected to be in Brigham next.
The needs of Kendall County are completely different than the needs of Kerrville and Hunt.
So one of those search and rescue teams that helped Kendall County last week was from San Antonio. Their full story is on KSAT.com. And the community is remembering the lives lost, memorials and vigils. A set of crosses for each person who died in the floods is placed alongside the Guadalupe River. The hope is for people to never forget their names and always have a space to grieve and pray.
It's been a lot, but I know what I'm feeling isn't even an ounce of the grief that some of these families and friends are truly feeling from the loss directly. So it's still here, it's still very real.
It is important for us to have a place to pray. Some people come, they meditate, sometimes they cry, sometimes they just come and go.
The effort to build crosses for everyone who's died is nearing an end. Tonight, there will be a benefit concert in Comfort, Texas, to raise money for the people impacted by these floods. It'll be held at the Singing Water Vineyards, that's in Comfort, and it's starting at 6:30 p.m. The devastating floods in the Hill Country didn't just damage homes, they also destroyed families' precious keepsakes and memories. Erica Hernandez spoke with one Texas company that's bringing comfort to families for free.
When floodwaters swept through the Texas Hill Country, countless families lost more than just property. But thanks to Cotton Holdings and their foundation's restoration station, hope is being restored.
We wanted to do something where we could really not only impact the community, but we could actually impact individuals.
The idea for the mobile restoration stations was born from a desire to provide more than basic disaster relief.
Any way we can possibly relieve some stress and some anxiety to people that, unfortunately paid a huge price.
You could truly see the power of water here in Hunt and how the Guadalupe moved through here, just tumbling over trees in its way. This is why the Cotton Holdings Company is trying to give some of these families who've lost everything some relief by restoring items that restore not only family history, but memories. When we met up with the restoration station, crews were carefully removing photos from albums, sanitizing and drying them out. The goal was to save as many of the photos as possible.
Even if it's not restorable, what we want to do is at least stop the decay of it, because you can't actually stop the process from getting worse.
So far, most of the work they've been doing is photo restoration.
These are memories. It's real emotional sometimes for not only our crews, but obviously our people that we're trying to help.
Leticia Carmona, one of the workers helping, has been doing this for more than 10 years. A native of Houston, she says this was bringing up a lot of emotion after already going through Hurricane Harvey before.
It's devastating seeing everything, emotionally, everything. It hurts. You could feel the intensity, the grief, everything.
The work may be long and tedious, but the payoff.
It's great to see people, the smiles after the disaster.
And the Cotton Foundation isn't stopping anytime soon.
Well, we're going to keep it going as long as if people need us, there's no end to this.
Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Along with the cleaning specialist, a team member will be available to provide emotional support to residents if needed. Residents can book 2-hour cleaning sessions on the Cotton Holdings website. And so many Texans have been asking the same question: how could this happen? Now, federal lawmakers are asking the same thing. 3 representatives from Texas, including Congressman Greg Casar, asked the Inspector General of the Commerce Department to review the area's emergency response. They also want to find out if federal weather agencies had enough staff.
We should be asking the hard questions about whether these cuts that left us without, for example, a meteorologist in charge in the Central Texas area, if that hurt our ability to predict the weather and then also to communicate with local officials and local communities in this disaster.
Congressman Casar says he expects to get the Inspector General's results in a few weeks. And parents of Uvalde mass shooting victims were in Los Angeles courtroom yesterday facing off against several companies in a wrongful death lawsuit. So several companies are listed as defendants, including Meta and the video game publisher Activision. The suit claims these companies, along with the gun maker, worked to target young men and influence the Uvalde shooter. The complaint also calls Activision's video game Call of Duty a, quote, training camp for mass shooters. One mother who lost her daughter spoke out.
We traveled all this way seeking answers, and it is our hope that this case will move forward so we can get those answers. We appreciate that it's a complicated issue, so we're also thankful to the judge for hearing our case.
Meta and Activision deny responsibility and want the case dismissed. It is 6:08 and 78 degrees. Project Men doing what they can to help those in immediate need. How you can donate gently used medical equipment to help make a difference. And do you want to stay connected with KSAT 12 but not sure how? We'll tell you about a free town hall we are hosting next week that you don't want to miss.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's a little muggy this morning and we are tracking some rain on the radar. I'll tell you what it's going to do and how that will impact your weekend coming up after the break.
Welcome back. If you want to stay up to date with all of our coverage, but you aren't sure how, we want to hear from you. KSAT 12 is hosting a town hall later this month at Santikos Casablanca. We'll be discussing how to receive all our KSAT content, signal issues, and taking questions from the community. Just scan that QR code on your screen to sign up for a seat. This is a free event happening next Wednesday, July 23rd from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can find out more information on our website, ksat.com. The 612 and 78 degrees health experts ready to help families affected by the July 4th floods. How you can get a free consultation to help to talk to your children about the traumatic events. Welcome back. Project Men's annual mobility collection drive, originally set for July, has been extended to September 20th, with flood recovery still underway in the Hill Country. Project Mend is stepping up to help families and individuals impacted by the disaster. They're accepting donations of medical equipment like wheelchairs, walkers, shower chairs, and more. They already have supplies ready to go, but with so many people in need, they're urgently seeking more donations to make sure everyone gets the help they need. Those donations can be dropped off at Project Men's headquarters on Warsbach. Visit KSATcommunity.com for more details. And Children's Health is stepping up to help families affected by the July 4th floods. This weekend, parents across Texas can get free behavioral health consultations using the Children's Health virtual visit app. Just use the code TEXFLOOD when scheduling to access expert advice at no cost. Pediatric psychology specialists are ready to help parents talk to their children about traumatic events, including age-appropriate ways to discuss tragedy, addressing the seriousness of disasters, and easing children's anxiety and managing how much news kids need to see. Support aims to help families heal and cope during this difficult time. And it's not just, children going through this. I think all of us can take some time to really just reflect and talk it out, because it's been difficult.
It has.
Here at KSAT, we had therapy dogs come in. We had counselors available this week, which we're grateful for our station for providing those, because it's been hard.
It has, and I know the weather team, we've really kind of talked about what we could have done, or what, like, the whole thing as in general, and where we kind of go moving forward. I know people hear rain and they think, what is it going to be like July 4th? And although we have rain chances today, I can tell you it's not going to be.
Okay.
It's just going to be just light showers, and right now we're still sitting nice and comfortable, and those rain showers will continue to arrive later today, but right now sitting at around 78 degrees in San Antonio, 85% for that humidity, and that humidity is going to really continue through most of the day today once again, but temperatures for most of us still sitting nice and comfortable in those 70s, still seeing a slightly breezy wind as well. But later today we're really going to warm up. Temperatures in San Antonio getting to about 97 degrees. In the Hill Country, they're going to sit a little cooler, but they're also going to see more cloud coverage. That's going to allow them to sit a little on the cooler side, maybe just by a few degrees. But areas just to the south of Castroville, just to the south of Poteet, they're going to continue to be warmer. We're talking triple digits, but that's normally where we see some warmer temperatures as well. Here's authority radar. Like I've been mentioning, we're starting to see some light shower activity going up through the Colorado near LaGrange, even down closer to areas of San Marcos, but they're continuing to weaken this morning. And that's what we were talking about, is just a quick shower this morning, but there's more rain on the way. What we're watching right now is, this is what used to be that tropical development we were watching through the National Hurricane Center earlier this week. And although there's not much rain with it, it is still bringing that cloud coverage to areas of San Antonio, and that's going to help bring us also chances of rain today. Now, once again, we're going to continue to see some light rain activity, but it's pretty much already gone by lunchtime today. Now, this afternoon, once again, we're going to continue to see that cloud coverage, but we're also going to see some more chances of some showers. Most of it's going to stay just to the north, but there is the possibility of just some extra moisture still sticking around in areas of south central Texas, that tomorrow morning, once again, we can see some light shower activity, mostly to the north, but once again, don't pay exact attention to the exact location. It can change just by a little bit depending on where we see the most moisture, but still tracking the chance for some more just light shower activity tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Might be a little inconvenient as well tomorrow, just because it still is the weekend. But here's why we're seeing that. Like I mentioned, that area of low pressure, that's that disturbance and that potential we saw for the tropical development. That's going to continue to make its way into areas of San Antonio, or just to the north of San Antonio, throughout the rest of the week. And that's going to kind of give us a little bit of the rain chances today and tomorrow, but as that moves away, we're seeing that big blue H really stick around and be the big weather maker on Monday and Tuesday. And that's going to give us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the sunny skies, the temperatures in the 90s, but eventually that moves to the north about Thursday. And what we're watching is another chance of upper disturbances. That is going to be another low pressure system that's going to make its way into areas of San Antonio to bring more rain chances next week. That's what we're watching. However, the track and time, it's still a week away, so things can change just ever so slightly because it's still a week away. But we're looking at about Friday, Saturday, and even a little bit left into Sunday morning for the rain chances. Now, I am going to break it down for you here on your 7-day forecast. Once again, 20% chance of rain today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, once again, 10%, but don't be surprised if you do get about a 20% chance because it can determine on what part of South Central Texas you are. But then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures still staying in those 90s. We have that heat high sitting right over us throughout the beginning portion of the week. And then Thursday, Friday, we're continuing to see rain chances up to about 10 to 30%. And that's that upper disturbance we were talking about to give us more rain. But this is already on such a saturated ground. So yes, there could still be a risk, but it's still a week away. So we'll keep you posted on the exact track and time, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Shelby. 622 and 78 degrees. It's almost back to school time. Are your kids ready? After the break, we'll tell you how you can score a free backpack. If your child is in need of a new backpack, listen up. Today, Idea Public Schools will be holding a giveaway at Idea Mays Academy and College Prep from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The first 500 school-aged children will receive a backpack filled with school supplies, including rulers, pencils, highlighters, and more. There's no limit to how many children in one family can get one, but children must be with a guardian to receive a backpack. 625 and 78 degrees. President Donald Trump faces pressure over the handling of the Epstein investigation, plus why he is suing the Wall Street Journal in response to a report. If you're thinking about buying an electric car, be ready to pay more. How a new tariff on Chinese graphite could send those prices skyrocketing. Good morning, welcome back. It is 629 at 78 degrees. Shelby, it's very humid outside. It's like, oh, summer is officially feels like it's here.
Yeah, I know some people are like, oh, what, like they step outside, they see a beautiful sunrise, or for us, darkness. I stepped outside this morning and I just felt the humidity, and it's sad news. It's going to stick around a little longer, but we're also going to warm up today, tomorrow, but we're seeing the humidity because of the rain today. So that's part of it as well. And take a look outside right now. Most of us still sitting with our air temperature and our dew point temperature between 5 or even 10 degrees for some areas of Castroville. And the dew point temperature is what allows us to kind of gauge what that actual humidity temperature or the humidity is. Right now, our air temperature in San Antonio is about 78 degrees. Our dew point is about 73. So that's about really close. So that gives us the chance for the humidity. And even areas like Castroville, they're not as humid because there's about 10 or 9 degrees between their air temperature and the dew point temperature. But throughout your day today, once again, we're going to continue to see the rain chances. Mostly this morning due to that one little bit of those isolated showers moving in from areas of Austin, but it's still going to be warm. Temperatures getting to about 97 degrees today. And then we're also going to continue to see mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy skies. But then tonight and tomorrow, we're also tracking the rain chances, but we're also tracking some Saharan dust. Once again, it is going to be Saharan dust season here shortly. Right now, not seeing really any in San Antonio, but the plume is just to the east. Some of it is just near Cancun in the Bay of Campeche, even getting into areas just to the south of the Dominican, south of Jamaica. And we are in the Saharan dust season. Normally, a lot of people have issues with mountain cedar and oak. We are fully in Saharan dust season, and that goes through until the middle of August, and then we get to ragweed, and then once again mountain cedar all over again. But I'll tell you what the Saharan dust is going to do and how much we can see of the Saharan dust throughout the next few days and how that interacts with the rain chances coming up in just a bit.
Shelby, thank you. An update for a story that we first brought you on Thursday. We've learned a little girl who was found unresponsive in South Bexar County pool has died. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says she's 3-year-old Galilea Lattis. Investigators say she was swimming in the pool during a family gathering when people noticed she was floating and was unresponsive. First responders performed CPR. She was rushed to the hospital, but she did not survive. And we now know the names of 2 victims killed in a deadly crash that happened Thursday afternoon. San Antonio police continue to search for a group of people suspected of stealing a Camaro and causing that crash. So police say the group crashed the stolen car into a bus on I-35 southbound near Casson Road. That bus was pushed in the path of a semi-truck before rolling over, killing 4 people and injuring more than a dozen. So 2 of the victims have been identified as 69-year-old Rosalio Aguilera and 50-year-old Jose Guerra. Guerra owned Transports Guerra, the company that owned the bus. As for the other victims, 1 child and 2 adults are still being treated. The rest are out of the hospital. As for the suspects, San Antonio police say they ran off. One of them had an AK-47, and that makes people in the area very uneasy.
It's frightening to know, but just always being safe. Luckily, I'm not here alone.
I hope they catch him.
Not only that, we have to stay alert, vigilant.
People are still looking for the driver of that Camaro and the other suspects who were in that car. 11 men were arrested in a human trafficking and online prostitution bust. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office found guns and drugs at a hotel during that operation. They all faced charges of soliciting prostitution, a state jail felony with up to 2 years in jail and $10,000 fine. Some also faced charges including marijuana possession, family violence, and DWI. The Sheriff's Office says San Antonio police and Texas DPS troopers helped in this investigation. Meanwhile, a now former Jubilee Lakeview teacher has been arrested. He's accused of taking pictures under a 7-year-old student's skirt. San Antonio police arrested the teacher, and he is charged with invasive visual recording. He has since posted a $50,000 bond. Well, President Donald Trump is under pressure over his administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, with calls to release grand jury testimony in the case. At the same time, the president is suing the Wall Street Journal over a report claiming he wrote a letter to Epstein, a letter Trump says he never wrote. ABC's Dave Packer has the story.
Following a request from President Trump, the Justice Department has formally requested the unsealing of grand jury records tied to federal investigations into deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The department said in a court filing the request follows extensive public interest generated since DOJ and FBI issued its July 6 memo regarding their decision not to release any further files from federal investigations into Epstein. This as calls grow louder for some in President Trump's base for full transparency. But the legal process could take weeks or even months and would not fulfill his team's promise to release the full FBI files on Epstein.
Here's the problem. The grand jury testimony is largely about Epstein and Maxwell, not about all the rich and powerful men who abused, assaulted, and abandoned young women. Those people are still being protected.
President Trump says there's no smoking gun inside those unreleased case files. ABC's Mary Bruce asked the president why he's not doing more.
Mr. President, why haven't you ordered Pam Bondi to release the full files?
The president also slamming the Wall Street Journal in response to a report alleging Trump wrote a letter to Epstein for Epstein's 50th birthday party in 2003. Trump suing the paper and its owner Rupert Murdoch for defamation and seeking $10 billion in damages, claiming he didn't write the letter and it's non-existent. In response to the lawsuit, a Dow Jones spokesperson said, "We have full confidence in the rigor and accuracy of our reporting and will vigorously defend against any lawsuit." The president once had a friendly relationship with Epstein, socializing in New York and Palm Beach. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump said they had a fallout and had not spoken in 15 years. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
The Environmental Protection Agency continues to downsize under the Trump administration. The EPA announced It will cut about 500 jobs in its Office of Research and Development. Since President Trump took office, the EPA has lost around 3,700 staff members. Most of these job losses came from early retirement or workers taking the deferred resignation program. So the agency also laid off nearly 300 employees focused on environmental justice. Despite these cuts, the EPA says it will launch a new Office of Applied Science and Environmental Solutions to focus on research and science like never before. The cost of building electric vehicles in the U.S. could soar. The Commerce Department is imposing a 93.5% tariff on Chinese graphite. That's a key material for EV production. So U.S. graphite makers praise the move, saying Chinese companies have dominated the market and blocked American companies from growing. However, analysts warn this will raise trade tensions between the U.S. and China. And on top of the tariff, the Trump administration is cutting federal support for EVs and recalling government loans that helped build EV factories and battery plants. So we're following up with the community workshops about Project Marvel, the billion-dollar plan to build a new sports and entertainment district downtown. City leaders want to hear what you think. They're hosting feedback sessions on all things Project Marvel, and one is happening today at 10 this morning. The discussions will cover housing, transportation, local businesses, and how these changes might impact everyone. Well, speeding is the leading cause of car crashes in Texas. Just last year in San Antonio, over 10,700 speed-related crashes caused 123 deaths and 424 serious injuries. To tackle this, TxDOT is teaming up with law enforcement for Operation Slow Down, a high-visibility speed enforcement campaign running through August 3rd. Officers will be out writing tickets and reminding drivers that speeding is a choice with serious consequences. It makes it harder to stop and increases the chance of severe injury or death. It also means costly fines, court fees, and higher insurance rates. Here are some tips to stay safe and avoid tickets. Match your speed to the road conditions. Slow down in heavy traffic or bad weather. Watch for the speed limit signs. Remember, fines double in school or in work zones when workers are present. 6:39 and 78 degrees. Seguin will soon be saying goodbye to ZDT's amusement park. Why owners say they're closing up shop. San Antonio's own Mario Barrios is done talking and ready to fight. Coming up, a first look at his fight against the legendary Manny Pacquiao tonight in Vegas.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's still sitting a little humid this morning, and we're starting to see a look at the sunrise and that cloud coverage, and that will continue to leave today with more rain chances. I'll break down your forecast coming up after the break. Well, tonight in Las Vegas, San Antonio's Mario Barrios versus legendary boxer Manny Pacquiao. El Azteca and Pac-Man have addressed the media for the final time at the MGM Grand. Pacquiao was all smiles, which is on brand for him, but Barrios, on the other hand, is tired of answering all the questions that have come with this high-profile fight, and he's ready just to get in the ring. You can watch the one-on-one interview with Barrios on KSAT.com. After 18 years in business, a local attraction over in Seguin is going away. The owners of ZDT's amusement park announced they are closing next month. They say not as many people are visiting, but the people who do and have good memories of the place are upset.
This particular moment, I'm happy, but I'm sure that that's gonna, change again. I've got to feel my sadness too.
I'm sad. Yeah, I'm sad. I don't want it to close.
Oh, so if you want to get in one more ride on the go-kart or in the splash water slide at ZDT's, you still have until August 17th to do so. Meanwhile, the closed boat ramps in Canyon Lake finally have reopened, and that's because the water levels were at its lowest in 60 years in April due to the drought. Since the recent flooding, it's up over a dozen feet. I spoke with local businesses and locals as boaters lined up to take advantage of those reopened boat ramps.
This is drone video we got of Boat Ramp 18 in Canyon Lake in April. It's been closed for over a year. Take a look at it now. It reopened last Saturday. The water has risen and boaters are lining up.
Lake's been very low. Until it flooded here, we haven't been able to get on it for several years.
Dean Smith lives in Comal County. He says even though he got to enjoy fishing on his boat at his local lake instead of driving to LBJ in Austin, it's bittersweet.
And I'm glad to see the lake come up. You know, the tragedy that took to get it here is, you know, still there. You see a lot of the debris still in parts of the lake, and, you know, it's just another reminder of what happened.
3 months ago, Canyon Lake was only 46% full. Today, it's 67% full, rising nearly 14 feet.
Boat ramps 1, 14, 18, and 19 are all open. And the owner of Jaded Boats, which rents boats, says things are starting to look up.
Canyon Lake drying up, you know, but now with all this, I mean, this is immaculate. This is incredible.
All right, here looks pretty good.
Luke Wilburn says the rising lake levels is great for the Canyon Lake community.
Oh, I'm sure it's good. Yeah, I'm sure guys have been struggling, so hopefully we're back on.
And Kyle Zara says his boat rental company has finally picked up this week.
A lot of the calls have been like, is the lake open? Are the boat ramps open? So with the recent water activity, we can actually start sending things out, feel comfortable sending people out. The water is still kind of like murky from all of the flood debris and all that, closer towards the water inlet. But over here in this cove, I mean, the water is pretty crystal clear over here, which is good for us.
It's like the one silver lining out of this, you know, flood tragedy we had. We were desperate need of rain, the drought. I mean, those images in April of Canyon Lake are devastating, and it's good that those boat ramps, some of them have been open for over a year.
Yeah, and I checked Canyon Lake's levels this morning, and they were about 67.5% full. They were about 16 and some change feet below their conservation pool, which is great. Like you said, they were back to, 46% full back even a month or two ago.
Right.
So yes, the rain was very much needed. It helped us with our drought, but we just wish there was a better way to do it.
Absolutely.
And we are seeing some rain on the radar currently. Granted, it's not as much when you put it into perspective of what happened last week in areas of Uvalde County or what happened in July 4th, but rain is rain. Now, once again, we're seeing some up near LaGrange is where we're tracking more of the rain, but right now it's just fairly light. Maybe a quick shower, maybe a quick downpour in areas of San Marcos up near Canyon Lake, and even getting into areas of Giddings and College Station, and that's going to be it. We're not really tracking heavy rainfall this morning, and even in San Antonio, we're just battling with that cloud coverage. You can see a multi-layer cloud deck here and trying to see the sun peeping through, or trying to just over here. But that's going to continue to be the story later today. And temperatures right now throughout all of this still sitting in those 70, 78 degrees in San Antonio. The humidity still feeling really muggy this morning. And that's going to continue throughout the rest of the day and even tomorrow. But today, for both days, in fact, expect temperatures to be about 97 degrees. It's going to be very warm. This is the summer we're normally used to here in San Antonio, with the heat indices getting to above 100 degrees. And that's going to be tomorrow. Still about a 10% chance of rain tomorrow, but today we're still tracking about a 20% chance for areas just to the north. And once again, depending on where you live, the rain chances might be higher and the rain chances might be lower. But one thing that we will see starting tomorrow night, or even getting into Monday, is a layer of Saharan dust. So right now we're not seeing anything in San Antonio, but throughout the rest of your Sunday, we're going to start to see that lighter plume go into areas of not only the Gulf Coast, but also specifically from Houston to San Antonio down to Corpus Christi and Brownsville. But by Monday evening already, we're already seeing that heavier, or that plume in areas of East Texas. And really, there's another chance of a little bit trying to make their way through on Tuesday morning, but it's going to be fairly light. If anything, we're not even expecting it to get to the surface, so it is going to be above the surface, but it's still going to be impactful for some folks, especially if you have allergies, or you'll be able to tell if there's any Saharan dust via sunset pictures. That's the one way to always kind of figure out if there is any dust. But like I showed you earlier, the rain chances today and tomorrow. Now that low pressure we currently have sitting over us, that's going to continue to move. And as that moves, we have that high pressure system continuing to just sit in the Gulf, but that makes its way on Monday and Tuesday. That's what's going to give us some temperatures jumping into the 90s and even near triple digit heat, if not triple digit heat for some folks. That's finally leaving on Thursday to go into areas near Kentucky, near Tennessee, and then we get that upward disturbance. That's going to continue to make its way into areas of south central Texas. I showed you that earlier with the rain chances, but that's going to continue to just bring in some extra Gulf moisture next weekend as well. So we'll keep you posted on that. But once again, today and tomorrow, temperatures starting to really climb up. But the cloud coverage, that's going to also give us a little bit of a cool down. Even if we see a light layer of some light showers or sprinkles, that will also give us about a few degrees cool down. Not a lot, but I mean, any bit of cooler temperatures will help take the edge off. A little inconvenient today with the rain chances, but drying out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before more rain chances next weekend, Sarah.
Oh boy. Well, at least there's no triple digits.
For now.
Right. Barely. Trying to be positive here.
True. It'll be sunny.
Thank you, Shelby. It is 6:51, 78 degrees. Whataburger is raising money for victims impacted by the flooding. How you can participate, that's next. Take a look outside with TransGuide. The sun is out. Looks like things looking pretty easy on the road there at 410 and Babcock. We don't really see any big incidents around town yet on the roads, but if we do, we'll let you know. Texas favorites stepping up to help with flood reliefs. From now until the end of the month, Whataburger will donate 100% of the sales from their first commemorative cup collection. These limited edition $2 cups are available at participating Whataburger locations in 17 states. So help is coming from beyond Texas too. So scan the QR code on your screen to see a continuously updated list of donation spots and a number to call if you want to volunteer. 6:54 and 78 degrees. Here's a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America.
And good morning to you on this Saturday. Coming up here on GMA, prisoner swap. 10 Americans freed in Venezuela in exchange for hundreds of Venezuelan migrants that the U.S. sent to a notorious prison in El Salvador. The major diplomatic deal involving 3 nations. Also this morning, mid-air scare. A SkyWest passenger allegedly tried to open an emergency exit door mid-flight. The threats authorities say he made to the flight crew before pilots made an emergency landing. Plus, it's the WNBA All-Star Weekend, and it's basketball's biggest stars that are taking over Indianapolis. The highlights from overnight and a preview of tonight's big game. All of that and so much more right here on GMA.